The first thing you should know about my friend Mrs. Filholm is that she doesn't much appreciate the finer things in life. Mrs. Filholm doesn't want a sports car and she doesn't wear much jewelry, just a few bracelets to cover up an old tattoo. When I asked Mrs. Filholm how she picked her old wedding rings, she said that her main requirement was a low-profile form factor because she didn't want it catching on the pockets of her blue jeans. The next thing you should know about Mrs. Filholm is that even though she doesn't splurge on luxury goods, she has an eye for fancy. Not that long ago, Mrs. Filholm was commissioned to create a set of bowls to be given to visiting foreign dignitaries as gifts. Her work is featured in the offices of high-ranking government officials all around the world.
Huh. That's a cool way of looking at it. It's true, though. The first thing you should know about my friend Andrew is that he always does his homework. He's a good student. That's how we met. The next thing you should know about Andrew is that he's a better student than I am. He did his homework this week, and I didn't. I got nothing. Sorry, Andrew.
Welcome to Half My Age, a weekly show in which a 25-year-old adult and a 50-year-old child help each other make sense of the world.
I'm sorry I didn't do my homework. We said that when we ran out of these cold opens, our podcast was over. I don't know, man. It's not that I've run out of them, but we did set ourselves up for something stupid, didn't we?
It gets harder and harder every week.
Sick of talking about you.
Today, I was going over this with Delaney. We were trying to come up with one, and she had a couple of really good ideas, and I'm like, nope, already did those.
Already did them. I know. It's like, well, now we know everything. What if I don't know, maybe we should shake it up. Maybe we should come up with a different open, at least just for a while.
I got some good feedback of several episodes ago when we went through the Is It Too Soon thing, and we talked about statistics. I got some good feedback on that, and I wonder if maybe each week I could come with some sort of statistical something or other we could discuss.
Okay.
Kind of a data sciencey type thing.
For a cold open?
Just a beginning, a new tradition.
Okay. Dude, I'm down. Whatever. Like what? Can you give me an example? I don't exactly know what you're talking about.
No, well,
like the Monty Hall problem?
Just some kind of interesting statistics-related story,
okay.
or maybe a cool chart or something like that.
Cool. It sounds boring, but I bet it won't be.
That's not very nice, Mrs. Filholm.
Well, statistics to
we
me...
could just sit here in silence as you don't do your homework.
Dude, I am so down for you bringing in a statistics thing. I can't imagine what it will be, and I doubt if it will be boring because what I find is that even though the word statistics kind of freaks me out, and the statistics course I had to take in graduate school actually was a very, very good course, and it was kind of story-based.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth is that statistics are always telling stories, and I like them a lot, don't I?
I hope so.
The word just makes me think of spreadsheets, Andrew. You know, that's not how my brain tends to think. Okay, stats, starting next episode. Stats. Everybody cries, more statistics.
So when you weren't doing your homework, what were you doing?
Well, I really was mostly doing comedy and experimenting with the leg makeup, cutting my hair, worrying. Okay, yep. I've been doing a lot of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my next shot at Comedy Works downtown, which we've talked about here on this program.
It's a hot venue. Lots of laughs in that room.
And I've been going almost every week on standby to show up there to be seen so that I will get on the list, sooner. And it works. So now I get on the list. I have been having a riot out there doing comedy. Feel like I'm getting better. I've really been pushing myself at the open mics to take risks that just feel really good to me. I mean, I've been very proud of who I'm becoming in that space, which means practically nothing. It's tiny little incremental moves for me. And now I get this shot that I care about, and this happens every single time. And I am now convinced that I have absolutely nothing funny to say. I've never said 3 minutes of any jokes in my life. I got nothing. And so I heard about it yesterday. I'm up in a week. Yay. And people are like, yay, good for you. Well, we can't wait to see you next week. And so then I went and did 2 shots last night, and it sucked. I'm like in my head. I'm convinced that I have never said anything funny. I'm not kidding. This happens every freaking time to me. Where there's something I care about, when there's a show I care about, or somebody in the audience that I'm going to care, whatever it is, whatever I have set up in my brain that this 3 minutes matters more than the other ones, that's so maddening. Brain, stop it.
I go through the same sort of thing on a smaller scale every time I listen back to one of our podcasts.
Oh,
I have never said a goddamn funny thing.
God. I know. Well, we've talked about that, my vulnerability hangover. And here I am putting it out there again. That's an embarrassing thing to admit. I'm so scared now that I have a thing I care about that real people are going to see me. And I'm going to invite people because I always tell my friends, they go, we want to come and see you. I go, you definitely don't. You do not want to come to these open mics. They're gross and weird. But the Comedy Works New Talent Night, yes, that's something I will invite people to so that it does feel like pressure. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's making me crazy.
So what do you do about that? You spend extra time working on your leg makeup. Do you rehearse a lot in front of the mirror? How do you prep differently for this big deal show versus all the others?
The truth is, not at all. You do exactly what you've always done. You choose a set that you feel good about, and you practice the hell out of it, which I always do. I started doing, and I kind of take a set and do it for a week or two, various versions of it, right? And mess around with it, but I'm sort of on that same theme, and then I'll chunk something in from the old thing, and that's kind of how I do it for a couple of weeks. And then I start a new thing. And so I just on Sunday or something, I started a new set that I thought, well, this will be good. This is a new topic, and it feels like it's got something, and it's not perfect yet, but we're trying. And then that was Tuesday. And then the next day I find out that I'm up next week and it's like, well, I can't use that new set. It's just so maddening. So what do I do to prepare? The same thing you always do. You work on your stuff. I have to go out and practice. That's pretty important to do as many open mics as I can between now and Tuesday just to feel the warmth from the crowd.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing that new stuff that you wrote on Tuesday?
No, I think I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to go back to the stuff I've been doing and clean it up. I've talked to you about it like it's a little bit nasty because we're pushing that line out there. And I've always said I would not take that downtown, I don't think, to that crowd. But I think if I clean it up, maybe I can make it tasteful. I don't know. The other thing is I often check in with, I really do have a couple of friends. You could do this for me, Andrew, where I will check in and say, here are two different sets. Will you listen and will you tell me which one's funnier? Mm-hmm. Like someone like Kim Dreiling, who is likely to be sort of the audience downtown. You know what I mean? Somebody who goes out and sees comedy. And I actually trust her joke, whatever. I trust her. And lately, because I've been out there doing it, I can talk to the other comics about it. And
I feel like we could do this on Instagram or something. You could put it on the Half My Age Instagram, and you could say, hey, all and at this point, we've got 12 million subscribers. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Which is funnier, A or B?
Yeah. I could certainly try. I don't know. That's the other thing, Andrew, to tell you. I'm facing a weird thing about vulnerability right now because, like I said, this is the show that I will invite people to. Like the thought of putting my actual set on social media, I've never done it. I don't think it's that good, I don't think it's that funny, or I think it's vulnerable. And lately, I think it's a little bit, like I said, a little bit, not really nasty, just shocking, whatever, vulnerable. It's putting myself out there, and now suddenly it feels like shit. And it has felt so fun for the past several weeks. It is absolutely my anxiety releaser, and now it's provoking anxiety. This happens every time. That's right. It happens every time. And the truth is, prepare for it exactly as I prepare for every other open mic, which is don't go out and get a brand new outfit. Do worry about leg makeup. Be prepared. Just be yourself. And there's something to me where it's like, I think as a performer, have fun. Act like you want to be there and know that they want to like you and have fun and don't be in your head. But then today I've been thinking, yeah, but comedy's in my head. Like I'm writing a joke. That's a cerebral thing. And there are rules for it. So that seems like, no, I should be in my head. Comedy lives. Obviously it's not. Oh my God, can you believe the twisted, tangled brain about this? It's funny to me.
When you go up and you do your set at Comedy Works and then you finish, do all those voices leave your brain, or do you just get a whole new set of voices critiquing what you've done?
Oh, yeah.
Both?
Both. Yes, both. Both. Well, and the truth is, you know what? Honestly, last night, like I said, I sucked. Okay, let me tell you the story of this. I went to an open mic that's early, and these are two that I normally will do on a Wednesday night. Went to the early one. Screwed up. I mean, I ate shit because right as I was going, it was kind of late. It's a quick thing. The host had to go to another gig, and he had said that, like, I got to rush everybody through. But right when I went up, as he handed me the microphone, I heard, we're now going to 2 to 3 minute sets instead of 3 to 4 minute sets. Mm-hmm. And I went, I know I have a long 3. And that's part of what I'm doing right now is testing my time because I'm practicing for Tuesday, and I need to know the timing of this. So I freaked out, and I just made up for that by talking really fast. So it wasn't funny, and it didn't land, and I was not in my body at all. So I went, okay, fine, good. You died. That's terrible. It's like a baseball player. You're batting 300. You're doing really well. That's okay. Learn from it. And then I came home, watered my plants, spent a little time at the dollhouse, got a cute jacket on, like put a little effort into it because I was going to a club that normally is really hot, and there's often a guy there videotaping, and I mean, anyway, I took my lift there at the normal appointed time, and there was a punk rock ska event going on at the club at the time. It was like a ska costume party is what it looked like. It was so funny. So that show that normally starts at 10:30 at night was at this point, like we're delaying till at least midnight. The show started at midnight. And so then and I had done my first set completely sober, like I'm not going to drink, I'm going to drive my car. This one, I was like, all right, I'm going to drink a couple beers. Then it's like a challenge to stay sober enough to talk your mouth words, but wait in a punk rock ska costume party and not drink beer. So that was funny. It was so late. So I asked other comics for input on that. My set was fine. I mean, you asked about the voices in my head. To tell you the truth, I came home, and of course I have watched that set 3 times. And I actually think it's fine. I actually think it would probably kind of kill if I just did that. It's shorter than 3 minutes, which is brilliant because I often, that's the problem, is I don't pause for the laughs because no one was laughing. I don't know. And so I look at it and I go, objectively, that's probably fine. I mean, better than fine. I could do that and it will feel like I killed and people will remember it and I'm hilarious. And and that goes away. And I think, wait, no, what I should do is, it's funny, isn't it? Listen, every time I sit down to throw a pot on the wheel, almost every time, there's a little tiny part of me that still says, what are you doing? You can't throw pottery. Who do you think you are? The voices in our heads, man.
They're not very friendly.
Mine, sometimes not very friendly.
It's you a long time ago heard Russell Brand say something that you've quoted back to me many times. And it's something like, you might have to do your little impersonation.
I went into my own brain, not usually my ally. Is that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Are you doing a bit that you don't remember that you've brought that exact thing up 5 times in our 25-course history of this podcast? That's not a bit.
That's not a bit. That brings up a different bit, though, which is how bad my memory is.
I know, but that's. I mean, I just wonder because I hear
so many layers of bits.
Well, what I thought when I listened to our podcast, which I do because I want to make sure it's not totally insane. I hear you doing things like that and explaining, and I go, yeah, Andrew, you have mentioned how I quote Russell Brand 5 times, and then I think, he's doing a bit like in terms like he's educating the audience. Andrew is just so much further ahead than I am. He is contemplating the fact that new listeners are tuning in just today and we need to back up and explain and put context. But nope, you're just forgetting that we've ever mentioned it.
I like to put in all the context because I do know that every listener who's listening to this episode is brand spanking new because we haven't kept a single listener from one episode to the next.
That's not true at all. Oh no, that's not true. I've gotten some nice feedback.
Not to mention, I want this podcast to be a little bit. I want it to be friendly for those people who are hard of memory.
I love that. That's really kind of you. Speaking of people who listen and give me gifts like tasers, can we do some follow-up on the taser?
Tell me about
Please.
your taser.
I mean, because the last time we recorded, I was talking about carrying it around like a prop on the hang with the comics. I sent you a video. This week, somebody did take the challenge and tased himself. Now, you and I have talked about this off the air. What had happened was he took the taser and you've all seen the photo. We put it in show notes. It looks like a flashlight. It's flashlight head. And he kind of touched it to his skin on his forearm with the edge of it. And my understanding is that part of the deal with that taser is that the connection, it needs to go into, it says in the instructions, ideal places to drop somebody and would be fleshy areas like chest, shoulder, thigh. Those are good places. No, I don't think so. So for some reason, the amount of contact and surface area matters. I mean, I know you were saying electricity is electricity.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you only get like half the volts or watts or amps if you only touched a little bit, but I don't think that's the case. I think you get full blast if it gets you, it gets you. But
Okay,
I
it
don't
does
know.
get you, but I think what happens is like, okay, so if you think about like the surface that it's going through or the material it's going through. So TJ, I'm going to say his name because nobody listens to this podcast. It's certainly not Comics in Denver. TJ Webb is like a 27-year-old kid. I adore him. Oh God, he's so funny. And he touched it. I just think it like went through the skin of his forearm. You can actually see the muscle contract in his forearm. So it went, but he said, okay, he did it. We were all standing there videotaping. It was so anticlimactic.
It was. You sent me the video and I'm like, nothing happened.
I know. Did I send you the one with the sound? I made one. I didn't send you that one. I made one that has a dramatic, and I slowed it down and zoomed in and stuff. It's hilarious. Because there was so anticlimactic because he's standing there. All the comics are standing around. I'm screaming, going, he's going to do it. He's going to tase himself. Somebody videotape it. Blah. And then he freaking doesn't drop the cigarette from out of his mouth. He acts like nothing happened, hands it to me all cool. And everybody kind of goes, oh, anticlimactic. I guess it's not really that good of a taser. Nope. Then I'm going, TJ, but how did it feel? And then he sort of gradually admits, oh no, that hurt like a motherfucker. And then an hour later, he's like, oh no, I can still feel it. And then he admitted, no, if you made full contact in my chest, that would drop you. That would drop a person. No, that's a real heavy charge. He was just that cool and unaffected. Can you imagine? That's so funny. He's a badass bitch, that TJ Webb. Tased himself and didn't even flinch.
I guess so. That would make me so nervous if I was a policeman relying on this taser and I knew that someone could just play it off cool.
Me too, but like I said, I just don't think I mean, it hurts so much that, yeah, I know, that worries me too. So now, well, there's one guy out there asking, like, totally volunteering. He will be fully tased in his chest muscle. He says he's immune to it.
He says, I am the electricity.
Yeah, probably right. He brings the power. Yeah, that's funny. It does make me a little bit less impressed with my taser that TJ Webb can just go boom. But I am telling you, also, he said, oh no, that hurts real bad.
Does he seem like is he kind of an imposing person? He's not a big fella?
Oh, he's tall. No, he's like a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's a tall, hippie-looking dude. I mean, in fact, no, he's actually got I don't want to talk about TJ Webb on this one. But I mean, he's actually, I think, got a heart of gold, and I think it's hard for him to be. I've heard him say at crowd work he doesn't like it because he doesn't like to be mean.
I would like whatever taser I purchase to be tested on hippies. It needs to be guaranteed to drop a hippie from 30 yards.
Why a hippie?
Because, well, I only because you tested yours on a hippie and it didn't do anything.
Okay. All right. I mean, I would like mine to be tested on a violent person. I think that would be more instructive.
I'm going to have to check our Is It Too Soon thing, but, oh, fuck, what's the joke? Something's Kent State, is that where they fire hosed everybody?
Yeah, year of my birth, I think. Too soon.
Probably not too soon then.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want
a long time ago.
We'll call it the Kent State test, and we'll just try to mow down what do you call that? A platoon? A horde?
A crowd? What do you call a crowd of hippies?
Yeah. Is that a gaggle?
A gaggle. A murder of crows. What would it be? A lava lamp of hippies? I don't know. I don't have
a drum circle?
A drum circle of hippies? I don't know. God, that's too bad that I can't think of a joke. There you go. I don't have anything so
slowly
funny.
Because it's so unbelievably hot in the studio.
God.
I'm wiping my brow.
I'm
putting the beverage against my forehead.
I saw that. I have a cold towel here that I covered with water. I would recommend that because I recorded an ad in here earlier today with the client calls in and coaches me through, and oh boy, 40 minutes. Sweat was dripping in my eyes and I couldn't really read my script very well. We have really set ourselves up for a comfy environment here. Good golly.
It's rough in here. I think today's got to be one of the hottest days so far this year.
That's exactly what you said the last two podcasts also. So
well, it's hotter than those two times.
Viewers, it just keeps getting hotter. That's what you can be sure of now. And it's true. Today you said it was 100 degrees on your motorcycle?
Yeah, it was on my ride over here at Redout 100. And we talk a lot about the hottest day of the year, especially in terms of Do the Right Thing, the movie. And today is the hottest day of the year. And I saw some crazy stuff on my way to the dollhouse.
Me too. I want to talk all about it. You go first.
On my way here, I pulled off the interstate, and I'm waiting at the light there to turn onto a big road. And there's a homeless person there. And he's just kind of in his own world. He's dancing a little bit. He's doing his own thing. And he's got his shopping cart with him there. And in his shopping cart, he has a bunch of hand tools. And he pulls out, he's totally in his own world right now. He pulls out a post hole digger. You know what a post hole digger is, right?
Sure do.
If anyone listening does
Hand
not know.
tools. I thought you meant like a screwdriver.
No.
Yeah, tell them what it is.
It's like two shovels kind of fastened together like a pair of pliers, so that you can ram it into the ground and dig basically a hole for a fence post. Yep. Mm-hmm. And he takes this post hole digger and he just throws it over his head like a spear. It nowhere in particular. I was terrified.
Threw it, projectile, threw it.
Yes, he
not
threw it.
Lifted it over his head, threw it.
He threw it. He was just having a time over there.
Like on the median. Where are we talking about? That's a big thing.
On the side of the road. So, I'm on my motorcycle. I feel pretty exposed. Needless to say, I put myself in first gear instead of neutral. And I was just waiting for that green light. I was ready to get out of there. I was terrified.
Whoa.
But on
post hole digger.
On the hottest day of the year in your neighborhood, you got to watch out for flying post hole diggers.
That might be our show. Watch out for flying. Anything else? See anything good?
I was recovering from the post hole digger incident, so I didn't even have time to register what else was going on in your hood.
Was it actually anywhere near you, coming in your direction?
No, it was a lane over, but it's still scary.
Oh, I understand. Absolutely. That is so unpredictable that you literally don't know what that guy's going to do next. Was it in a lane of traffic?
No, it was on the sidewalk. Actually, he did do something after that. He had this this piece of wood that's in a T shape, and he put it on his shoulder as if it was a rifle and started, making motions like he was shooting people on the streets with his T-shaped piece of wood.
Wow, really not comforting at all.
No, terrifying.
So I feel like that's somebody you might want to call the cops.
Maybe. I was so busy avoiding the postal digger that I didn't feel comfortable pulling my phone out.
Crikey. Okay, I have seen so many things like that. I mean, that's pretty epic. But just yes, in the past week since I've seen you, I go, wow, there are just so many colorful characters, and some are not threatening at all and not creepy, just really colorful characters. I've also noticed on my way to the dollhouse, I do not like going to gas stations in my neighborhood at all for a plethora of reasons. I am going to now go to bougie neighborhoods when I need a gas station. Every one is a terrible experience for one reason or another. Gas stations around here. That's very odd to me. It's specific. And then this morning, well, two things happened back in my alley. My garbage can is gone.
Oh, I've seen people stealing garbage cans in Denver. That might be a thing going on right now.
It is a garbage can provided by the city of Denver. I have to use it, right?
Right.
It fits on their machines. They provide it, have to use it. It's gone. After garbage day. Now, as we know, my fence is coming next week. The guy came today and did the walkthrough. Andrew, I'm going to have my security fence with swinging gates. I can keep my garbage in my backyard where it belongs. For now, because I have such an issue with it, I keep my garbage technically, it's on my property, but it's in the alley and it's accessible in the alley, as we have discussed. Now that garbage can is gone. Gone after garbage day. So once it was emptied, I go out to bring my can and I go, none of these cans is mine. And they all have numbers on them. So I called the city today. They're happy to replace it 2 weeks from now. I don't get where I'm supposed to put my garbage on 100-degree days.
Probably in Rafiki's can if she'll let you.
If she'll let me. That's it, I guess. Borrow from neighbors. That is sort of annoying. I do not want to criticize city planners and the people who run things because I do not understand infrastructure. But shit, dog.
Will they replace it for free? Is there any cost to you?
As far as I know, it's coming for free, but they'll get to it in their own good time. Oh, and she did mention to me that on the 23rd, which I know because I looked it up online, is large item pickup day kind of thing. So I can set up to 10 bags. Okay, so that was seriously her solution, was keep up to 10 fetid bags of garbage in your house until...
You can put them outside. You can just leave bags in your backyard near the alley.
No, squirrels, 100%. I did that once. I left a bag after a little kind of party thing. I left it near the trash can out there. And no, the squirrels go through. No, I can't. Nope, somebody else's bin. Anyway, that's fun. Also, I saw while I was checking on, is it really true that my garbage can is missing? And I was walking out in the alley this morning, condom right there in my little space right outside my garage, bro.
That's because you're on the If our listeners haven't looked at the show notes recently, you posted an updated estate map of the dollhouse on Shakedown Street, and you got it right there in the estate map. It says Zombie Playground.
Zombie Playground.
And boy, are they playing in the zombie
Once
playground.
Rafiki said to me, they do so much sex out in that alley, and I thought she was kind of exaggerating or something, and I thought, who does? Who's doing sex in that alley? The prostitutes are doing sex in that alley. I'm glad they're using condoms, I suppose. Oh, that's just gross. It wasn't there yesterday.
icky.
It didn't fly there in the wind. That happened on my property while I was sleeping. So, yep, seen a lot on the way to the dollhouse. And it is hot. And like I discussed a couple of weeks ago, it doesn't generally bring out the best in humanity when it's real, real hot in the city.
It's rough out there.
It's rough out
on
there.
Shakedown Street.
There's one guy that I see regularly begging on the street who has a dog with him. And his sign says times are, the letter R, rough. R-U-F-F.
Nice.
And I thought it was interesting, and then I realized, he has a dog there, so it's a visual, it's a sight gag.
Which is more appealing? Which makes you want to give
Animal
money
act.
more? He says R-U-F-F as in he can't spell, or he says R-U-F-F as in he has a dog with him. Which one makes you want to give him more money?
Oh, has a dog with him because it's funny. Maybe I should take that to Comedy Works next Tuesday.
I think it's even more endearing if he can't spell.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that's a very sweet thing.
Find that endearing? I don't know.
This is why we're America's #1 anti-homeless podcast, is because we make fun of the homeless people who can't spell and have dogs.
I know, and when I'm out there showing my taser around and I use the word zombies, some people are like, zombies, that's sort of a, what are you saying? That makes them uncomfortable. Like, and it doesn't make them feel usually better, those people, when I say, my police officer friend, that's the word he used to describe, and that doesn't make people feel better at all. Makes me feel better about it. Anyway, so yeah, condoms in the alley and interesting characters all the way around.
I think I have that album, Condoms in the Alley.
Another show title. Gross. Condoms in the Alley. Yeah, it's a collection. It's a collection of a lot of... Never mind. Okay. Well, the good thing is that I thought of a funny thing to say about it in my head, which I'm not going to say, but that...
You can save it for your show.
Right, and that makes it... right, that's encouraging. 'Cause one thing I've been making myself do is pick a headline or pick a topic and write 10 jokes about it. Like sticky one-line jokes.
That's fun.
Like, it's not fun.
That sounds like a good... that sounds like the kind of warm-up you would make students do in your class.
Yeah, and it's a discipline, and it's not fun. Because... the idea, of course, is just do it. Just say dumb things and see what comes. But, of course, I sit there and craft. It's funny. No, that's a good discipline. I think it's a warm-up to try to flex that muscle. I don't know. Why do I even want to tell jokes? It's so dumb. Good golly. Want to take a break and get some air?
Sure, we can take a break.
It's just so hot.
I think my computer's fan is really doing some work today.
Oh, is it?
Yep. I'm gonna, let's see, what can I close?
It's hot too?
Everybody's hot today.
Oh, I'm sorry, computer.
Everybody's hot. Ugh.
Can I start talking?
Yeah, tell me. Before we get into your larger topic, I want to ask you about your AirPods.
Oh my God, I love them.
Have you had a chance to use them like normal things with a built-in microphone?
Yeah. Yeah, I could. Hold on just a second. Making an appointment. I'm making a note about making an appointment. I do love them. And yes, it was funny though. You told me that revelation. The next time that I talked on the phone, my godmother Christy called while I had what are they called?
AirPods.
Pods in my ears, and I just picked up the phone. I did not trust it. I still walked around with my phone. And then, yes, since then I have tested it and gone, oh my God, I can actually walk outside, two-handed watering plants, walk away from my phone while I'm having a phone conversation, and I think it sounds just fine on the other end.
Yeah, it should.
Amazing. I do love them. Go ahead.
I spend a lot of time on my AirPods. I'm a remote worker. And whenever I have a phone call, I'm pretty much always on my AirPods. And it's so nice because I get to pace, I get to do all these things, and I'm hands-free. So if I need to wash some dishes while I'm on the phone or if I need to do whatever,
amazing.
It doesn't matter.
I know. It's kind of the dream. And I didn't even know. I didn't know that, as you know. I did not know that it was a microphone.
thought they were just
did not get it. I
headphones.
totally did. So, that's such a cool little. I really do love them, and I haven't lost them. That was my other thought, is I was going to leave them in a pocket. Nope, because they're great. I also like. The sound is really pretty good. You know what's cool? I take them with me, and I've been doing this lately. I'm so obsessed. I listen to my set in the Lyft ride on the way home.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, which is cool, because then I can right then and there get that feedback, and
While it's still fresh.
I used to do it like if I was driving, I would listen to it on my phone. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's just like, they're so handy. They're part of my everyday carry. And I do, however, have to remember sometimes here on the compound, I got to remember to not have, I can get so fully plugged into them, and they kind of feel so isolating that I don't know. I feel like I lose the world a little bit, which is good. Sometimes that's awesome. But sometimes I think I do need to keep one ear out for the zombies in the alley, just in case there's any shenanigans happening.
I've been thinking a lot about the same thing. There's a guy I like on YouTube. He's a motorcycle guy. He's just this kind British fellow who rides and reviews motorcycles. His YouTube thing is the Missenden Flyer. That's his handle.
The what?
Missenden Flyer. I guess Missenden is a place in the UK.
Got it.
And he's the Missenden Flyer because he's also a pilot.
Got it. Cool.
And he had this little PSA about wearing your earplugs when you ride your motorcycle. And I know that's something you're supposed to do, and it's something I have done at certain times, but I've gotten out of the habit of it recently. So for the last 2 days after his PSA, I've been riding with my earplugs in again, and there is a little bit of worry or nervousness that maybe I'm not going to hear something I'm supposed to hear or whatever.
You have them in to protect you from the noise of your engine, your motorcycle?
Of my engine, but even more so wind noise.
Wind noise.
Highway speeds on a motorcycle with a helmet on is just tremendously loud because of all the buffeting and yeah.
So you have them on for that, but then you also can't hear traffic and things as well?
Right, you can't hear traffic and things as well. I'm sure if I needed to get out of the way of a siren, if it was close enough that it was I really needed to be, I could certainly hear that. But if it's off in the distance, I just feel like there's a little bit of I lose a little bit of hearing.
That makes me incredibly nervous, and
but it's important. You're supposed to.
I suppose, of course.
We'll have to check in with Delaney because she just finished her motorcycle class. But I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to ride with earplugs in.
No, it makes sense. I mean, I get that, and like you said, highway noise, shoot through a helmet. My God, wind tunnel. No, but that's funny because as I was just thinking, the reason that I can listen with these little pods is because I am in a lift. Right, and that's what I was saying. When I drive myself, I don't listen with headphones on. I might put it on next to me, and let it play out loud. But I would never put headphones in while I'm driving. Or I think even like running or biking, there's that kind of thing. Like running with full-on noise-canceling headphones is just dangerous. You can't hear somebody coming up behind you. You can't hear a siren. Yeah, so that's funny.
I like AirPods. Also, if you're in the back of a lift or if maybe you're in a noisy office, you put in your AirPods. You don't even have to play anything through them. It's just a nice indicator. Hey, I'm doing something.
I know what you mean.
I'm not available for conversation right now.
So true. Like with a Lyft driver, because sometimes I'm very much in the mood for a conversation, and sometimes I'm so not, and those do help. Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Well, yeah, I do like them. No, they're great. But I sometimes have to check back in with the world. And the thing is, often for me, it's great to just have one in.
Yeah, it is good. And
the thing charges fast too.
Oh yeah, and there's a little pro trick. Sometimes I'll be at a long conference call, super long, and I'll get that little when the battery's dying. So you take one out, you put it in the charger, and then you just alternate them because one will charge up while you're using the other.
Yep, cool. Okay,
and you can. It's like infinite battery. You can do this forever, at least until your case uncharges.
Right. And if you're sitting, your case can be plugged in. Yeah, no, that is cool. And I noticed that I must have done that. Used one in for part of the day, just because, like I said, I wanted to be aware of my surroundings, but have music in my ear. And yeah, it was cool because then it tells you when you open it and you have it next to your phone, it tells you the charge, and it was like 3% on the left and 89% on the right. Great, switch them.
I like that. That feels like I'm in charge of some kind of nuclear command center. All those statistics just pop up in your face. 3%, 12%, 30%.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, there you go. See, statistics are fun. Statistics are fun. You know what? I have been, speaking of my crack brain and the voices in my head, one thing that our friend Merlin Mann says on his podcast, and I don't even think it's his idea, I'm sure he gives credit, but it has been so very helpful to me lately about the idea of making an appointment. That's why I was writing a note about making an appointment. with yourself to worry about something.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. If you're up in the middle of the night, some people, wake up and churn. The nice anxiety ghosts wake you up at 3 a.m. and tell you got to worry about this thing right now. And he says it's great to try. If you can trick yourself into this, say, make an appointment. I will make an appointment to worry about this at a different time because right now I have to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it wasn't even Merlin. Maybe it was the other. Anyway, and saying, I'm going to make an appointment to do it, and then do it. Like the next day, I'm picking the kids up at 3 o'clock. I will make an appointment with myself to worry about this thing and see if I can, fix it with my worry, which of course, that's a joke. You can't. But that's a cool thing, and I've been doing it lately, and I've even talked to my rad therapist about healthy ways of compartmentalizing certain things that are painful and hard. And part of it, some parts of it are like raising 20-year-old children, and some parts of it are hard, and it is not the time to take action or do anything or react or but I want to worry about it. I want to be churning it, and to make an appointment to do that at such and such a time with my therapist, that's okay. And she's calling that like healthy compartmentalization of something that it doesn't help us to worry about things, but my God, it's what I want to do.
That sounded kind of weird to me until you said that the time to worry about it could be with your therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, there's nothing I can do about this thing right now, but I'm going to put it on the list, and I'm going to take it with me to the therapy thing. And does that give you peace in the moment? Are you able to get past it?
100%. I mean, and driving is my worst anxiety producing. That's when I want to. Driving makes me a little bit crazy, and I could feel myself kind of getting anxious and emotional about something and wanting to feel it. And I went, wait, you're seeing your therapist tomorrow. Let's make an appointment to deal with this there. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one way of doing it. But the other thing is, see, if you're having just yes, it does give me peace of mind in answer to your question. But even without a therapist, if you say, I will make an appointment with myself to worry about this tomorrow, I think the point is that then you go there and you go, okay, Lisa, here's your moment to worry about this. And then by the light of day or 24 hours later, you go, worrying isn't going to help me. Worrying is not what I want to do. It's a way to trick your brain to go, hey, crazy invasive thoughts. I will tend to you in a minute. Okay?
Take a number.
Yep. Stay. Leave it. Leave it, right? It's telling you, leave it. Take a number, and I will deal with this later. And then when I meet that freaking beast of anxiety again in a different light, you go, oh, you're not so bad. Yeah, I have some things here that I need to make decisions about, or I need it works for me, Andrew. But
That's
I am
interesting.
Plagued by racing thoughts a lot. Crack brain.
I'm definitely interested in that thought technology, as
right?
John Roderick would say, and I'm interested to try it out. I think you're right. If you can, that's probably a very Buddhist thing. What you're doing is acknowledging that the thought exists, and you're just sorting it and filtering it. You're putting it away. You're not dismissing it.
That's it. You're lit because sometimes little anxious thoughts like that are just trying to get hooks in you. So instead of letting the thoughts sail away like little boats, you go, okay, you little boat, I will put you over in that little harbor, and I will come back and visit you, but you can go away now and free my brain from it works for me. Yes, it does. Yes,
That's interesting. That reminds me of another Merlin Mann thing, which is power puttering, which is keeping lists of all these little things you have to do around the house. Maybe it's replacing that light bulb on the porch. Maybe it's ordering new toilet paper from Amazon or whatever it is. But he's got an ongoing list of all these things that need to be done all the time. And then on Tuesday or Thursday or whatever day it is, he just knocks out all these little things. So you could schedule it. You've got this worry, you've got this worry, you've got this worry. You say those are Thursday worries, and then you spend an hour and a half getting through your Thursday worries, and then it's done. You can cross it off your list.
I mean, I know that sounds kind of insane, but kind of. And like you said, certain things that are real and deep and hurting my feelings. Yes, that's great to go. This is for my therapist, and that's where she's saying that's healthy compartmentalizing. Instead of letting it wound you every minute, walking around like an open wound, come and cry real hard with your therapist and actually work out some stuff. But with other dumb anxieties, like, yeah, I love that. That is the day I worry about. That Thursdays will be the day that I worry about, can I pay all my bills? You know what I mean? Like, that's a point. Like, that's the kind of thing that will sometimes keep me up, or I start to panic and I go, of course I can. Evidence is showing that I'm just fine at this, and it's really not that freaking magical being an adult. But there are some moments that I have to just worry about, did I do that thing in Charles Schwab? Did I put that thing in the... You know what? Thursday seems like a great day to have those worries and get them all done.
Seems interesting. There's a part of me that's skeptical. Like, can you really push these thoughts out of your head?
I don't think so.
But, I mean, it's crazy enough that it just might work.
And that's the thing. I just think it's a good goal to do. And can you really put all these thoughts out of your head? Probably not. And I'm doing that kind of in the same spirit, you called it Buddhist, but in the same spirit of the same reason that I do my stretches and my breathing, and at the moment, writing 10 dumb punchlines every day. It's disciplines, right? And you get into the habit. And then sometimes I can tell my little brain. It's been helpful to me over the years. We've talked about how I need to hang upside down and stuff to realize sometimes it's the yogi would call it hot. I'm hot. My prana is hot. And that is more helpful to me to go, I'm running hot right now, speaking of this studio. But I mean from internal hot. And then I have stretches that cool me down or whatever. To think of it as hot and inflamed is way better than thinking my brain is attacking me.
I think that there's also something about, if you tell yourself, don't think about that, stop thinking about that, stop thinking about that, it's different than I'll think about this later.
That's exactly right. You have permission to think about that. But right now, what is this in service of? It's not helping you or me. I like that there are two people having this conversation, and it's really just me, Andrew. Who is this helping? Neither of us.
And I said to myself, self,
Exactly.
cut that out.
Exactly.
We'll deal with this on Thursday.
We'll deal with this on Thursday is the day for anxiety. I have box cutting day.
Which coincidentally is the day of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We can deal with we can bring ruckus on Thursday.
Here we are. That's really what you're here for, Andrew. It's true. I have box cutting day. Doesn't that sound like a holiday?
Kind of.
Like Boxing Day? I have box cutting day.
I like that.
I don't want to talk about it because it reminds me of how
pocket knife.
Yeah, I got myself two box cutters. And I have one out here in the studio and I have one in the house, and that is for cutting up all of the freaking boxes that come with life nowadays when you order a lot from Amazon. And so I have box cutting day, but it hurts my feelings to think about it because of how my garbage can is missing. But it sure makes a difference if you just cut those boxes up and put them into nice pieces, and then you can put them in your recycling or Rafiki's recycling, and you sure can get more bang for your buck. I have plant watering days. I have air plant watering days.
Ooh, air plants. Those
You like
still no, they seem like magic. They seem
I know, they seem fake.
not in a good way.
Do you see how mine are sinister magic? Air plants seem sinister to you.
Yeah, you soak them once a month or something.
I do it once a week, Andrew. My air plants in my kitchen window are delightful. They look fake. I mean, to me, they're plastic as far as I know. Really. I'm doing that. It's performative. I'm putting them in water because I read I should. But they seem the same no matter what I do. Do they grow? What are they?
I think they're supposed to grow. Are they growing?
I don't know.
They're black magic is what they are. I thought we established that. Let's move on.
So why not have a worrying day? Anyway.
Actually, air plants are the new succulents because succulents have gone out. People don't have them on their desks as much as they did a year ago.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Now everyone's got air plants.
There are still some people clinging to the succulents.
Just like there will always be people in bell bottoms.
Exactly.
Which are probably in
Macrame. I was just about to say people will always cling to their macrame. I see. Do you see this? Do you see any kind of?
I don't even know what macrame is.
Okay.
It depends what the definition of macrame is.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's tied ropes and I keep seeing ads from like very fancy mid-century modern places because they've got my number here at the Dollhouse, and they keep sending me ads about macrame wall hangings, which I can't tell you. I mean, right, like that is so my childhood. Everybody had a macrame. The cool ladies had a macrame owl. Like maybe my grandmother with weird beads for eye. Okay, macrame, that's a funny thing. But it is so back right now. So yeah, some people will cling to their succulents, some to their air plants.
Oh, that's interesting. I have seen that stuff before.
Uh-huh.
I know that.
Real hip right now. Which we used to, like we took macrame classes at the, rec center on Maui in 1975. Whenever. We took macrame classes, and the fine, skilled ladies would make macrame things. I don't mind it. I like textiles a lot, but it just seems... Why am I talking about macrame? I don't care what people hang on their walls. I gotta shut up. God damn. Crack brain. My cousin Nikki texted me after listening to the podcast to say something about her crack brain. And then we spoke about it, but I think that she is just a more evolved version of me because she said that she has crack brain that keeps her up at 3 a.m, but it's not like anxiety. It's figuring out, she has this one nurse who works for her who's going on maternity leave, and she's lying awake. Nikki is lying awake, not worrying, thinking about this other woman's schedule and how she's going to reap the most from her maternity leave. And hey, I wonder if she's thought about this, and there's this other thing she can do. I know. And I talked to Nikki about it. I'm like, well, here are some solutions for crack brain. And she was like, it's not really bothering me. It doesn't cause me, she doesn't have like dark, invasive, crazy thoughts. She just can't stop thinking. Crack brain.
I feel that way sometimes when I'm maybe working on a coding problem, or maybe I'm reading in bed or something. I just my brain is still got lots of energy where my body does not. And for me, the best way I can do that is to take a melatonin. That puts my thoughts to sleep.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. It really does.
I thought you were going to say take a walk. Usually, what puts my
not at midnight.
No.
I mean, maybe.
That's what I used to do, not here. Usually what puts my thoughts to sleep is comedy, because like I have said, the way I've described it, I get to collect all of the anxiety, right? I feel anxious a lot because life is hard, but when I'm going to do a set, I know what that anxiety is about. I know exactly what this is, and I tell myself every single time, because I do get anxious every time I go and do a mic. Every time I do a mic, even if it's some dumb, stupid thing at midnight and everybody's just drunk and stupid, I still have to go outside after that set and like, whew, feel great. Isn't that funny? And like get cool air because it's so hot. Anyway, I collect the anxiety, I roll it up into a ball, then I know what to do with it and I get it out and I go to sleep better, usually. Then I get a set that I care about and suddenly I don't know why I'm even writing jokes. All right. Okay, so that was some follow-up from a podcast that we liked. Do you want to talk about anything else?
Maybe. It's
I like
so
how we just brought up. I know we just brought up a major heavy topic, but now we're both like, God, that seems like it's going to take a long time, and it's hot.
It is hot,
and there is no goal in mind. I cannot imagine any of our readers at home care if we do a real short summer episode.
Maybe not.
As long as we bring the ruckus, that's all.
Well, we always do, and I think today talking about scheduling your worry. I think that's full of ruckus. I think that is made of ruckus.
Thank you, Merlin, Mann, and Dan Benjamin. That's who did it together.
That's the thing. We just need to keep stealing their ruckus.
That's really
claiming it as our own.
Yep, ruckus stealers.
That's what this is. We're not infringing or stealing. We're basically curating the ruckus.
Oh, that's nice. I was about to say like hanging on to their coattails. Latching ourselves.
We're curating.
We're being what's that called when an animal goes on another animal and eats on, what's that called? That relationship, like where an animal...
Symbiotic relationship or a parasitic?
Yep, parasitic. I felt parasitic for a minute.
A little bit parasitic.
No, but you brought, Andrew, that is such a... Say it again.
We're curating the ruckus for you.
I like it for you.
Sweet
and
listener,
for us,
sweet
everybody.
Viewer.
Okay,
Remember when we used to call the listeners viewers? Do you still do that?
I just did it like 3 times. In this, are you doing a bit that you just weren't listening?
No.
I've done it today, especially. I have gone back and I also just said our readers at home because I've always thought that
readers,
was funny.
That's what they are. They're readers.
And viewers. I've said it both today. I went back to the old school. I hadn't done it in a while. I was aware of it, and you...
It's not even funny. Have you ever said a funny thing in your life?
See what I... Bye, Andrew.
Goodbye, Mrs. Filholm.
Exactly.